And we're back. So, my subject property was built in 65. Johnson County Appraisal Board says the effective year is 1998 because allegedly something must have been done to the house. I can tell you personally, it is not updated to 1998. It still looks very 1965. And I took pictures to support that. So when you protest a property, they're going to give you a piece of paper for each house that says what properties they used to support your fair market value. And these are all sales that occurred between January 1st of 2021. I guess I was protesting 2022. So 2021 to the end of December 2021. So those are the sales they're looking at. This is the first property. And as you can see, the date built was 1965, effective year 1998. Same thing for the houses they used. These are the homes that sold, supporting their price, effective year also 1998. So what they're saying is that these homes all had something done in 1998 according to their definition of effective year. Next one, same thing. This one, effective year 1998, but it was built in 1965. These are the properties they used. These are the years they were built. And this is also 1998 effective year. So apparently these homes also had things done. And I have one more. Different house, different neighborhood, different sales over here. Yet these were all effective year of 1998, even though they were actually built during these years. So something seems a little fishy to me. When I asked for the explanation, they simply told me that something must have happened in 1998, and although they don't go into the homes to know this for sure, they have a way of knowing. But I don't know what that is. So later on, you'll hear them talk about how they go every 2 years and they survey every home in Johnson County to calculate remodels and all of those things. But none of that makes sense to me because these sales comps are all effective year of 1998. It makes no sense. So I think that Johnson County is probably going to need to give a little further explanation for that. Moving forward, another property, good friend of mine that I went to protest for, this was a piece of raw land. Raw land meaning there are no improvements. There's no water, there's no electricity, there may not be fencing, there's just nothing. And Johnson County wanted to say that his acreage was worth $83,000 per acre. This is a 2.59 or 2.9 acre lot, under 3 acres. And they're trying to say that it is worth $83,000 an acre. So I looked at the sales. The only sales that I could find supported a price of about $32,000 per acre. And so I felt like that was where I was going to go and show them those were the sales. Also, my particular friend here also had an appraiser go out to the house. And the appraiser went out and actually said the property was worth a total of $115,000. So that's 3 acres. If there were improvements, once there was water, electric, fencing, and so forth, then it would be worth that much. The adjacent property, which means the property that this one is touching, is valued at $21,000 per acre. And so I felt like in this particular case, I had very valid arguments, yet they continued to go with the price of $83,000 an acre. So here's their explanation of that.
So you priced one next door for 21, but you're saying this one's worth 80 that has no improvements.
It's that we're just talking about the land because
Right,
all
that's what
those
this is. At 21 that
all
Johnson
the
County
improvements
says.
to the land go with the house.
Did you see this page? This
Yeah.
is the adjacent land.
Mhm.
It's acreage that actually has improvement on it. And Johnson County has the whole 2.5 acres at $53,000, which is $21,066. The land next to this has no improvements whatsoever, and you're saying it's worth $60,000 more an acre? That doesn't even make
They
sense.
both should have been.
Both of them should be
Should have been.
80,000.
Should have been. I understand, but.
And I appraiser says, an appraiser, a licensed appraiser in Texas, went out and appraised this land at $115,000 for
He's
2.9.
licensed too, ma'am, for mass appraisal is what the district does. Mass.
I'm comparing it to the one that's hooked to it next door. If you say it's worth 21,000, how do you justify saying the one next door is 80 that doesn't have improvements?
Look at this market value right here that sells, and that's what they're selling per acre. That's what land
That's
is.
per acre. It's always going to be higher than a
So
2.9
what I mean is
unit.
So, continue the argument. However, I didn't win. And they continued to say that this particular property, I'm sorry, it was worth $80,000 per acre. Irregardless, that is not worth $80,000 an acre in Johnson County. Now, some acreage is. The smaller the per acre lot, the larger the per acre price. If it's a larger lot, it will be a smaller per acre price. This particular property, I had valid comps. They were the same size, and they were selling at $32,000 an acre. Johnson County had the adjacent land at $21,000 per acre, but is saying this one magically is worth $83,000. Again, no explanation. The owner of this property had an appraisal completed in December of 21, and they wouldn't even look at it. They wouldn't even consider it. I see this as a big problem. Most counties will look at an appraisal that you bring, and they will consider that a lot. They will consider it a lot because it is an actual appraisal. What they're doing is a mass appraisal. They're not specifically looking at yours and trying to figure out what your value is. They're figuring it as a blanket. And so that's why it is your job as a homeowner to go in and say, hey, this is why mine isn't like the other houses. Maybe I have something wrong. Maybe I have a leak in my slab. My foundation is bad. My windows are broken. I am missing doors. I have 1965 carpet. I don't look like the homes that you're saying have the same value as mine. That's what you have to do when you protest. You must take all that information. You must take pictures. You take invoices. You take estimates from a legitimate construction company that says this is how much you'd have to spend to be like the houses they're saying you're like. It is your job to provide that. If you provide enough documentation to them, they really shouldn't have a reason to argue. I'm going to go to the hot mic here in a moment and kind of share some of the things that I feel are concerning regarding my protest date. Back in a moment. Okay, so during the hot mic, it's a little hard to understand. It's a little hard to hear what they're saying. So I'm going to play some of it, and then I'll come back and I'll kind of tell you what they're saying. But they start off at first by just talking about the depreciation and how they allowed me to have some depreciation because I called them out on the fact that it was 1965 built. They're saying 1998. A year ago, it was showing 1977. So they allowed me a very little bit. But they're gonna mention this in the hot mic. So I just left the building. I said goodbye, and here's what happens.
Y'all understand what I'm saying, right?
Okay, please don't do the depreciation lower unless
That's
somebody
fine. I know, I felt you.
asks,
But
because,
once we've done the first one, I felt compelled to go ahead.
So he says, after I did the first one, I felt compelled to continue doing the rest. And she's telling him, no, don't do that. Don't offer that. That's what she's saying.
let me tell you, she was running the meeting, and y'all let her, and she got to do that.
That really had me when she said that she is a licensed appraiser. I'm like,
He is a license.
We're two
Yeah,
different
two
ballgames.
different, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Vicki, look at those bathrooms. Is that a 1977 bathroom?
much higher.
No. And that's what, new tile, yeah, new cabinets, that's new.
She just said new tile, new cabinets. No, it's original, 1965. And I'm going to tell you, these people are supposed to help to determine a fair market value. They're not there to give value for countertops, cabinets, age of tile, age of a toilet. That's ridiculous. They're supposed to be there to figure fair market value based on other sales that are like your property.
Make sure it's off. Do you realize the one that was in bad shape? We have one down in You're gonna have to go find there's all the guys here.
You said some stuff that I was not thinking about.
What's that?
You just had some good ones in there. And I was like, yeah.
I don't even know what I'm saying. That's good stuff.
So he says, and this is the actual appraiser that sits in with the board, and he said, wow, you had some really good stuff. You said some really good things. And then he's saying, I don't even remember what I was saying. I was just pissed off. So while the ladies are there laughing at me, the fact that I'm a professional and I came in with a report for every single one, and then they're going to talk like this, like I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll keep going.
Well, I don't like lowering depreciation by 1%.
That's what I was saying.
Because the depreciation.
Oh, see, that's what made her mad.
It's a variable that you can move up and down, but bottom line is you're looking at the value of it. And once we, like Ginger said, once we
Okay.
just started
It's
applying
not-
the first one,
Walters is here.
We should have fixed that one.
how do you know it's bonus?
Because it goes ding, 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 and then it says, hello, thank you for calling. My phone is working.
Walters.
Oh, yeah, this is, I was like, this is Walters? Reginald Walters? Oh, you know, I have to talk to Sarah Brown.
The year can be explained as a mass appraisal adjustment for neighborhoods, because you don't know what's inside there. But you have to do.
I guarantee you, those aren't the 1977 toilets. And she said, well, maybe the pedestal. Doesn't matter what.
Look at this. Also, here's how we do it too. It's whenever the thing sells, you can look at the whole thing online.
Yes.
And you can be like, oh, it's definitely been up there.
Yeah.
So here's what the appraiser is saying to them. Here's what he's saying. It doesn't matter what we say or this is what they're saying, that they can see the house, right? They can see it online. They can go on Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever. But they're saying that this house and all the other homes have an effective year of 1998. So those of you who were internet savvy in 1998 know that Zillow, Realtor.com, none of those things happened. In fact, I was a licensed real estate agent in 1999. And I will tell you that the MLS was DOS based. There were no pictures. Eventually we had one picture of the outside of the house. That's it. We did not have any interior pictures. So the appraisal district board would not be able to go online in 1998 or go on the MLS or go on Realtor.com and see what the inside of homes look like in 1998. That was one of the most disturbing things I think I heard, beyond them making fun of me or talking about 1977 toilets. It was just a circus. That's what this was. Let's see if there's anything else good.
And that other one just had dirty carpet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Dirty carpet. You know what they're referring to? So one of the houses that I protested had renters that lived there for many years, at least 6 years. And they had done quite a number on the house. And the house required full interior paint, all new flooring, new appliances, new fixtures, new toilet. The shower had to be ripped out. Yes, the carpet was dirty. That was the least of the problems with this house. Even down to the front door had to be replaced. It was a lot of work, probably 30,000 plus. So I took pictures of this, literally days before I protested, to show them this house is not worth what the house down the street sold for. that had granite and new appliances and new paint and all of the new things and all the pretty things you see on HGTV. They're not comparable. That's how you figure fair market value. The homes have to be comparable. That's how this works. So I did what I thought I had to do when I protested these homes. I took pictures. I took legitimate adjustments with the square footage. That's another thing that they don't do. All appraisers do adjustments on a per square foot price. Example, your house is 1,000 square feet. The sales house is 1,500 square feet. That's a 500 square foot difference. Most counties are using about $60 a square foot for an adjustment, right? So 500 square feet would be equivalent to $30,000 difference from this house over here. It's a big difference. But Johnson County apparently doesn't do that either. So my point of this video was to tell you, how do you protest yourself? Why should you protest if this happens? Because everyone has a voice. Every homeowner should be protesting the value of their home because it's your right. Are you going to win? Probably not if you live in Johnson County. But I have had plenty of protests in Tarrant County where I felt like they were very fair. This year when I come to Johnson County, I have requested one person instead of the entire panel to show my information to and protest the values. I feel like it might be easier than the circus that I was dealing with at the time of my protest, with everyone talking over everyone and arguing. It just was not a very pleasant experience. I'm a professional. I came in, I was professional to them. I asked questions when I didn't agree, and I got answers that didn't make sense. So if you're in Johnson County, go protest. Take it to them. But take them everything you can come up with. Pictures of your home, anything that's next door. You have a zoo next door, you got a freeway next door, make sure they see that. Those things are important. Your house doesn't look like the other houses that have sold. Take pictures to show that too. And then have a construction person or a remodeler come over and tell you what it would cost for your home to look like the other houses they're saying your house has the same value. Take all of that with you. And then make sure that you get a copy of that transcript. Things aren't going to change in our state if people don't stand up and say enough is enough. They can only go up 10% if you have a homestead exemption. 10%. Ironically, my particular home every year goes up exactly 10%. I find that kind of interesting that every year my house has this increase. And it's just getting to a point where people are not going to be able to afford it. So remember, vote for people that are going to help us with this. Take the information, go protest. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm available. I can help you with, maybe the protest. I can help you with finding the value of your home. Feel free and reach out to me. This is my card right here. That's my email, clickpickandmove@gmail.com. Now, I won't be able to go protest for you this year, but I can certainly help you prepare to go protest yourself. Thank you so much. Have a great day.